So, today we start our fifth unit. The first point of our fifth unit is external memory interfacing. So, we all know memory, it is used to store data as well as program. So we have to study the interfacing of this memory with our microcontroller 8051 microcontroller. So basically there are two types of memories, that is RAM memory and ROM memory. So RAM memory means it is read as well as write memory, and ROM memory is read only memory. So we all know that the memories they are available in the form of IC. The memory they are available in the form of ICs. Memory have address pins, data pins, then control pins. Basically, depending upon the capacity of memory, it is having number of address pins. If the memory, let us consider the memory, it is of 2 byte, means for addressing 2 bytes we require only single pin. On this pin we can send 0 or 1. Means for addressing 2 bytes we require single pin. On that pin we may allot the memory as a address 0 or 1. If the memory, if or any memory IC, if it is having 2 pins, means if 2 pins are there, means 2 raised to power 2 is equals to 4 possible combinations are there, that is 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. Means if 2 pins are there, we can generate the 4 addresses. If 3 pins are there, it means 2 raised to power 3 is equals to 9 possible combinations are there. Means we can generate 9 different addresses, unique addresses. Means depending upon the capacity of the memory, the number of address pins are there. Let us consider, if means the one formula is there, 2 raised to power n is equals to capacity of the memory. It means n is the number of pins. How many number of address pins are there in the memory IC. So depending upon the capacity, if we want 4K memory, it means for generating 4K addresses we require the K means 10 and 12 address pins. So for getting 4K or for interfacing 4K memory, 12 address pins are required. So that is means depending upon the capacity, the number of address pins are there, and again on one memory location how many how many bytes of data or how many bits of data we can store, that depends upon. So if on one memory location we can store 8 bits, means the capacity of that is the of 1 byte. Capacity of that memory, it is of 1 byte. Now along with the means if the memory, if it is 1K memory, means we require 10 address pins. It must have the 10 address pins, and 1K into 8. 8 means byte. It means on one memory location we can store 8 bits. So it must have the 8 data pins. Along with the address pins and data pins, the memory IC, it is having one most important pin, that is the chip select pin, CS bar, which is always active low. CS bar, or it may be the chip enable pin, that is CE bar. This is very important pin. By using this pin, we generate the address for the memory. Now, along with that, again the memory IC, it have the RD bar pin, WR bar pin and PSEN pin, which are the means from the microcontroller IC. We will connect these pins to the memory ICs. RD bar pin means it is this pin, it is active low when the microcontroller is performing the read operation. So we connect this pin to RD bar pin of the memory. And WR bar pin, it is again connected to WR bar pin of the memory in case of the RAM. It is the read-write memory. Whenever the microcontroller is reading the data of the external memory, this pin is low. Means it is connected to RD bar pin of the memory. Means that memory get activated and the corresponding operation gets performed. At the same time, whenever the microcontroller is performing the write operation, this pin gets low. It means the data get writes in the external memory. Along with that, it is having the PSEN bar, that is program store enable pin, which is connected to external ROM memory. Again it is low whenever the microcontroller is reading the data from external ROM memory, that is the read only memory. Now these are the means any memory IC, it must have the address pins, data pins, then chip select pin and RD bar, WR bar or program store enabling pin. In case of the ROM, it is known as the OE bar pin, that is output enable pin. Now we will discuss the decoding, means address decoding technique for the memory IC. Now let us consider, we just consider one example. We have to interface 4K into 8 memory with the microcontroller. So we all know 4K memory, it means into 8 means it must have 8 pins of data D0 to D7. So this D0 to D7, these must be connected to data bus of the microcontroller. After that, if 4K is there, K means K requires 10 pins. K requires 10 pins. 4 means again 2 raised to power 2 is 4. Means it must have the 12 address pins. So it requires the 12 address pins, that is A0 to A11. So this A0 to A11, it must have the 12 address pins. These must be connected to A0 to A11 pins of the microcontroller. Now this 4K into 8, this is the RAM memory, that is read write memory. So it must have the 2 control pins, that is RD bar and WR bar for reading operation and writing operation. This must be connected to RD bar and WR bar pin of the microcontroller. Now one most important pin, it is nothing but the chip select signal. Chip select signal pin means along with this chip select signal pin, this is connected to remaining address pins. We have means in our microcontroller is having the 16 pins of address. Means address bus of microcontroller is 16 bits. It is having the 16 pins A0 to A15. Along means from the A0 to A15 we have connected A0 to A11 to A0 to A11 from the means in the memory IC, and remaining pins, that is A12, A13, A14 and A15. These are used for the chip select signal of the memory. So what we have done here, we have just used one NAND gate. to the NAND gate, we have connected all the remaining 4 pins A12, A13, A14, A15. Now A14 and A15, it is applied to the NAND by using the NOT. Means what is the condition to enable this memory IC? This is our memory IC 4K into 8, 4K into 8 RAM IC. So for enabling this IC, this chip select signal, it is active low pin, means it must be 0. So it will become 0 when and only when A12, A13, these two are 1, 1, A14, A15, these two are 0, 0. If this is 0, 0, it will become 1, means 1, 1, 1, 1. 1 into 1 into 1 into 1 is 1, means it will be 0, means this IC will be unable. And this is the, means just we have discussing the pins, which pin must be connected to which pin of the microcontroller. This is one technique. By using the NAND gate as a decoder, we can design the address decoding. Now what will be the address? So we will discuss the address map. Means in the address map, A0, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7, A8, A9, A10, A11, A12, A13, A14 and A15. We know A15 and A14, it must be 0, 0. This is our condition. A12, A13, it must be 1, 1. These are the remaining 4 pins which we have used for generating the chip select signal. So it must be 0, 0, 1, 1. These are the 12 pins of the address which we have connected to memory IC. So the starting address of the memory is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 to 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So it will be 3, 0, 0, 0, H to 3, F, 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 H. So this is the starting address of the RAM and this is the end address of the RAM. So this is the address map for this interfacing. Now this is the one way of generating the chip select signal. In this technique, we have used just the NAND gate and the NOT gate. Again, one more technique is there. We can use the decoder also. We can use any decoder. Let us consider by using the decoder, we can generate the chip select signal. Again, we will take the same example. In the same example, we have discussed the same example, that is 4K into 8 of RAM memory. We all know 4K into 8 means it must have 8 data pins D0 to D7, which must be connected to D0 to D7 of the microcontroller. Then A0 to A11, these are the 12 address pins which must be connected to A0 to A11 of the microcontroller. After that, it is the RAM IC, means it must have the RD bar and WR bar pin, which are the control pins which must be connected to RD bar and WR bar of the microcontroller. Now, in the previous case, we have used the AND gate, NAND gate and NOT gate for the generation of chip select signal. Now, in this case, we can use a decoder. Let us consider decoder, that is 3:8 decoder. So, in case of this 3:8 decoder, so it must have the 3 inputs, that is A, B, C, and it must have the 8 output Y0 bar, Y1 bar, Y2 bar, Y3 bar, Y4 bar, Y5 bar, Y6 bar and Y7 bar. So it must have the 8 output since it is the 3:8 decoder. Now the decoder again it have the one G1 pin which must be high, that's why we connect it to VCC, then G2A and G2B. So these two must be connected to the ground. So we connect the G2B to ground and G2A to A15. Since the decoder it is having the 3 input pins and we have 4 remaining pins, A12, A13, A14 and A15. That's why here we will connect A12, A13, A14 and remaining 15 pin, A15 pin is connected to G2B. G2B it must be low, G2A, G2B must be 0 and G1 must be high, that is VCC. That's why we have connected G1 to VCC and G2A to ground, G2B to A15. Now what we have done, we have connected anyone from the output we can connect to chip select signal. In this case I have connected Y4 to chip select signal. We all know that depending upon the select input pins, here if we connect 1 0 0 means Y4 gets selected and the output Y4 becomes 0, all other output becomes high. That's why it becomes 0 means chip select signal get enabled, the IC get enabled and read and write operation will get performed. Now the address map, we can design the address map A15, A14, A13, A12, 11, 10, A9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and A0. Now A15 it is connected to G2B. It must be low. It means it must be 0. Then A12, A13, A14. Which output we have used here? We have used here Y4. Y4 is connected to chip select signal. So for selecting Y4, it must be A12 it must be 1 0 0. So we require it here 1 0 0. It means Y4 gets selected and Y4 becomes low and therefore chip select signal become activated. After that we require 12 pins A0 to A12 which we have connected to internal address pins. So the starting address all must be 0 and for end address all pins will be 1 1. So what is the starting address then? It becomes 4000H to 4FFFH. So again this is the another technique in which by using the decoder we can generate the chip select signal. So basically there are two types of address decoding. So this technique is known as how we generate the address map or how we generate the chip select signal. So that there are the different types of techniques. So basically the address decoding technique, we have to discuss address decoding technique. So basically there are two types of address decoding technique. First is the partial address decoding technique, or it is also called as linear decoding, and second is the fully decoded technique, or also called as the absolute technique. So first is the linear technique or partial decoded technique, second is the fully decoded technique or absolute decoded technique. In case of the first case, we all know that microcontroller our 8051 microcontroller, it have the 16 address pins. It have the 16 address pins, and memory, depending upon the capacity of the memory, number of address pins are there. Means if the memory it is of 1K, it will have the 10 address pins. If it is 2K, it will have 11 address pins. If it is 4K, it will have 12 address pins. Means depending upon the capacity of the memory, number of address pins or the address pins get change. Number of address pins get change. Now, therefore, first we have to discuss the linear or partial decoding technique. So, in case of the linear or partial decoding technique, so the remaining address pins, let us consider we have to interface 4K of memory. For interfacing 4K memory, we require the 12 address pins. We require the 12 address pins. We have 16. From the 16, we will connect the 12 address pins to the memory IC. Now, 4 address pins are called as the remaining address pins. These are the remaining address pins. Now, in case of partial decoded technique, partially or linear decoded technique, among the remaining address pin, any one or some, not all addressing pins. From the remaining address pin, any one address pin is used to generate the chip select signal. Means it is means 4 address pins are remaining. From the 4, only one pin is used to select the chip select, to generate the chip select signal, or we connect that pin to chip select signal. This is called as the partial decoded technique. And in case of fully decoded technique, all remaining pins must be used to generate the chip select signal. Means all 4 we will use for generation of the chip select signal. So in the previous case, we have discussed this technique, that is by using the NAND gate. All 4 remaining address pins we have used for generation of the chip select signal. In this technique and in this technique also, all remaining address pins A12, A13, A14, A15, all remaining pins we have used to generate the chip select signal. Such technique is called as fully decoded technique, or also called as absolute decoding technique. In case of partial decoded technique, among the remaining pin, only single pin is used to generate the chip select signal. Means, for example, again we will consider the same example of 4K into 8 of RAM memory. D0 to D7 pins are connected to data bus. A0 to A11 pins, these are connected to address bus. Then RD bar and WR bar, these are connected to RD bar and WR bar pins of the microcontroller, and chip select signal pin. For the chip select signal pin, directly we will connect the A15. Now the address map for this is A0, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7, A8, A9, A10, A11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. Now A15 is connected to chip select signal. Means for enabling this IC, this must be 0. And A0 to A11, these are connected to internal memory address pins of the memory IC. So starting address, it must be 00. For end address, it must be 11. So these 3 pins are the unused pins. We have not used these pins at all. These are left unconnected. So these 3 pins, it may be 0 or it may be 1. So such type of technique is called as partial decoded technique, or also called as the linear decoded technique. The question may ask, differentiate difference between the absolute and linear decoded technique. In case of absolute decoded technique, all the address pins, they must be used. In case of partially decoded technique, from the remaining pins, any one pin is used for the generation of the chip select signal. The decoder of this technique is very simple, and the decoder of this technique is somehow costly or complicated, but it is having the unique addresses. But in this case, the address may vary. These are the fixed, but it may be 0, it may be 1. Means for the single address, the address may be different, or it may have the shadow addresses. This is the major difference in between absolute technique and linear technique. Now we will actually interface the IC with the microcontroller, or which pin must be connected to which pin. We will consider, means or we will directly take one example of interfacing of 8K into 8 ROM memory, program ROM memory. So we will interface 8K into 8 of program ROM memory. So for that case, so we will draw the diagram. While drawing, I will explain. This is our microcontroller, 8051 microcontroller. So it is having RD bar pin, WR bar pin, and program store enable pin. We have discussed this RD bar and WR bar. These two pins are connected in case of the RAM memory. But here we have to interface the ROM memory. It means RD bar and WR bar pins, these are not connected to, or these are left unconnected. The program store enable pin, this is connected to OE bar pin of the ROM memory, 8K into 8 of ROM memory. So it is connected to OE bar pin of the ROM memory. Program store enable pin, whenever the microcontroller is reading the data from external ROM memory, this pins is automatically become slow, means this IC get activated. It is connected to output enable pin of the external ROM memory. After that we have the, for interfacing 8K memory, we require K means 10 and 2 raised to power 3 means we require 13 address pins. Means A0 to A12 address pins. Means from then A8 to A12 pins are connected to A8 to A12 pins of the this ROM IC. Means A8 to A12. We require 13 address pins. 13 address pins means from A0 to A12. Among that A8 to A15, from the A8 to A15, A8 to A12 are connected to A8 to A12, and remaining address pins we will use for the generation of chip select signal. Now again we have the lower address pins, that is A0 to A7. This is available in form of address, that is address, and we called it as a AD bus, that is address oblique data bus, which is used in time multiplexing mode. So we have to separate out the address and data externally by using the latch. So we all know this AD bus, it carries the address during every first clock cycle of every machine cycle. At the same time, microcontroller have the ALE pin, that is address latch enable pin, which is also low during the first clock cycle of every machine cycle. That's why this ALE pin is connected to enable pin of external latch. Means whenever the AD bus, it will have the address on the bus, at the same time this is low, means external latch get enabled, and at the output of the external latch the A0 to A7 address will be available. Again, during the second, third clock, this AD bus, it will have the data. So at that time, this ALE pin becomes high, so latch get disabled, so that data will not get stored in the latch. It will be available on this address bus, from which we will separate out the data pins which we are connected to D0 to D7 pin of the external ROM memory. In this way, we separate out the address and data pins by using the ALE and external latch. Now, next is we have to generate the chip select signal. Now, chip select signal pin, we generate the chip select signal by using, we can use the NAND gate or we can use the decoder. So we will use the decoder, 3:8 decoder. This decoder, it is 74LS138 decoder. Different decoders are available. So this decoder, it have the G1 which must be connected to VCC, then G2A and G2B which must be connected to ground, which these must be 0. We used here 13, means from 16, A0 to A12, means 13 address pins are connected to internal address pins of this external memory. Now remaining only 3 address pins are remaining. That 3 address pins are connected to, that is A, B and C. So that is A13, A14 and A15. Again, it will have the 8 output, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It have the 8 output, that is Y0 bar, Y1 bar, Y2 bar, Y3 bar, Y4 bar, Y5 bar, Y6 bar and Y7 bar. Among that 8 output, one output, that is Y4 bar, we have connected to chip select signal. Now we have to generate the address map. So for the address map, A0, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7, A8, A9, A10, A11, A12, A13, A14, A15. So we have to calculate the starting address and end address of the ROM memory. So for the starting address, all the 13 pins, that is A0 to A12, these must be 00, and for the end address, all the 13 pin, these must be 11. Now for the chip select signal, we have used A13, A14, A15. So here we have connected Y4 to chip select signal, means it must be 100. It must be 100 for the selection of Y4. So Y4 will get selected, it will be low, therefore chip select signal will be activated, IC will be enabled. So this is the starting address, that is 8 000H2 9FFFH. This is the end address. 8000 is the starting address and 9FFF is the end address. Instead of Y4, if we connect Y0, then all these three pins must be 000. In that case, the starting address will be 00000 to 1FFF. We can connect any pin. We can select any output. Any output pin can be connected to chip select signal. So in this way, we can interface any memory with the microcontroller. In this case, we have connected the external program memory to the microcontroller. Now, we will take the second example of connecting the external RAM memory.